Bună ziua și bine v-am regăsit! Prietenia româno-chineză. Mi-aduc aminte, eram un copil, aveam 6 ani, în 1968, când tata, împreună cu vreo 10 bărbați vecini, ascultau Vocea Americii la radio și spuneau: e război. Rușii invadase Ceoslovacia, împreună cu alte țări prietene din tratatul de la Varsovia. Toată lumea era îngrijorată. Tata, a doua zi, din nou i-a strâns pe vecini, pentru că doar noi aveam radio atunci, și a spus: dacă n-ar fi chinezii, rușii ne invadau. Pentru că erau pregătiți peste 120.000 de militari. Un moment de răscruce pentru România. Tocmai de aceea trebuie să ne amintim acest lucru. Și țin minte din ceea ce era publicat în presă, cuvintele lui Cluj-AM: cât va exista China, va exista și România. Mulți studenți au venit în România și au învățat o legătură care nu poate să o rupă nimeni. Mi-aduc aminte de un președinte al Chinei, Jiang Zemin, care știa românește. Oare ce putem spune când un președinte a unei dintre cele mai mari țări și mai puternice țări din lume știe românește? Nu este o legătură dumnezeiască? Iar noi avem vecini. Cel mai bun vecin al nostru este Marea Neagră. Am avut Serbia, pe care întotdeauna poporul român o are la suflet, dar noi am trădat-o pe vremea lui Constantinescu. Mai departe, prieteni, China, cum a spus în 68, și Franța. Să ne respectăm prietenii, pentru că atunci când ești la greu, vezi care îți este adevăratul prieten. Iar tata știa acest lucru. Dacă nu era China, rușii ne invadau. China, o țară cu 1.400.000.000 de locuitori, a doua după India, cu o suprafață, ce să vă spun, 9,6 milioane de kilometri pătrați, cu o cultură deosebită, dar s-a dezvoltat pentru că acolo nu există corupție. Corupția se pedepsește cu închisoare sau cu pedeapsa capitală. Acolo pedofilia din nou se pedepsește cu pedeapsa capitală. Mi-a spus un prieten bun, și aici nu e vorba de politică, care a fost în China: Mircea, ce este acolo și ce este la Bruxelles? Acolo, tot ordonat, totul curat, toată lumea muncește, iar pentru 2 posturi în administrație s-au înscris 15.000 de oameni. Și am întrebat: oare pentru 2 posturi au intervenit autoritățile ca să intre, să câștige cine vrea? Și a spus: nu. Acolo nu există corupție. Iar dezvoltarea Chinei ar trebui să însemne și pentru noi un avânt. Pentru că ne-am născut toți egali și trebuie să fim prieteni. Iar diplomația românească să învețe din istorie. Pentru că în 1968, dacă nu era China, România era invadată și pățea ca și Cioslovacia. Iar tatăl meu era un om bine informat și știa acest lucru. Tocmai de aceea vom încerca să păstrăm aceste relații bune, pentru că întotdeauna în China vom avea un prieten. Iar atunci, revin atunci, Rusiei, Uniunii Sovietice, nu era frică de nimeni decât de China. Poate că și acum la fel. De China este frică mai tare decât oricine. Iar China să ne fie un prieten. Pentru că atunci când relațiile noastre cu China sunt relații normale de dezvoltare, atât economică cât culturală, câtă cultură și câtă istorie putem învăța noi de la ei și ei de la noi. Să ne păstrăm acele tradiții, acea cultură, acea limbă, acel folclor, ca să mai vorbim de partea aceasta de știință. China, un prieten al poporului român. Vom avea 3 episoade. Acesta a fost primul, iar aș ruga regia să prezentăm un prim filmuleț despre China.
The Earth is getting hotter. There will soon be more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere than for the past 15 million years. China is committed to developing a low-carbon economy. It has utilized hydropower for more than 110 years and established the world's largest hydropower station, the Three Gorges Dam project. The Baihatan Hydropower Station, the 4th mega hydropower station in the lower reaches of the Jinsha River, has an installed gross capability of 16 million kilowatt hours and is listed as the 2nd largest in the world after the Three Gorges Dam. The station consists of the dam, the underground power plant and the spillway. The reservoir formed by the dam has a water storage capacity of up to 20 billion cubic meters, enough to fill Dongting Lake. The Baihatan Dam leverages its arch-shaped design to transfer the huge water pressure to the mountains on both sides. 289 meters high and 709 meters long, the Baihatan Dam required over 8 billion cubic meters of concrete, more than 3 times the volume of material used in the construction of Khufu's pyramid in Egypt. The surface cools down and shrinks after being exposed to cold air, yet the inside continues to heat up and expand. What are the consequences of this thermal expansion and cold contraction? Cracking. How can this universal challenge be overcome? The best solution is to cool the concrete. In the cement factory, specially formulated concrete is mixed with ice cubes and icy water, keeping it at a temperature of 6 degrees Celsius when it leaves the factory. It is also necessary to prevent the temperature of the concrete from rising during transportation. Therefore, insulation layers are installed on the interior walls of the vehicles to ensure the temperature remains at 12 degrees Celsius upon arrival. Besides thermometers placed in different sections to monitor internal temperature changes, cooling water pipes are pre-laid during the pouring. Low temperature water continues to run through a total of 3,000 kilometers of water pipes to keep the internal temperature of the concrete below 27 degrees Celsius. Once the temperature exceeds this limit, the smart control system will automatically increase and accelerate the water flow to cool the concrete down. To date, no temperature cracks have been found in the world's first low-heat cement dam. At the station, a long tunnel meanders its way deep into the mountains on both sides of the dam. The power plant is located deep underground. The rotor is a key component of the power plant. With a diameter of 8.62 meters, it is composed of 15 11-ton blades weighing 353 tons in total, equal to the weight of 6 high-speed train carriages. To make a home for the 16 sets of rotors, a massive complex with a length of 217 kilometers and 160 tunnels in the mountain had to be dug, creating possibly the world's largest underground city.
百合滩工程应该说是目前世界上唯一一座300米级高坝建在了柱状节理玄武岩之上。咱们这岩石啊，就像一把筷子一样，一个一个的柱子在一起。 你如果在不扰动它的时候，在周围都围压比较好的情况下，它的这个性状非常好。但是你把周围的这个筷子这个笼子一旦打开，就是咱们一把筷子全部散开了。
The unique structure of the columnar jointed basalt renders the foundations of this high dam loose and fragile.
我们能不能在开挖之前？ 在我们这个筷子笼子里面的时候，先用胶水把这个筷子一块一个的给它粘起来，然后我再开挖。
To turn the rock stratum into a stable entity and secure a firm foundation, the engineers invent multiple techniques, such as surrounding rock grouting and energy dispersion blasting. Once an area as big as the palm of a hand can withstand the pressure of 2 tanks, the dam has become extremely stable and impregnable. Hoisting the rotor begins. The bridge crane, with a lifting capacity of 1,300 tons, carefully moves the rotor to its designated location. The rotor, however, is not the first stopping point for the Jinsha River water. The spiral cavity and orange paint make this conch-shaped space look like some fantasy realm. This is the spiraling casing located at the bottom of the rotor hydro generator. Water from the upper reaches of the Jinsha River will enter here first, through inlets on either side of the dam. The vertical drop from the inlets to the casing is roughly the height of a 70-story building. This dramatic elevation change causes tremendous water power as it enters the casing. The colossal rotor is finally stably hoisted to the generator, first above it, then in the exact center of the casing. When the 16 rotors work together, they bring light and heat to over 65 million people across China. Petroleum is modern society's essential energy source. China consumes 14 million barrels of crude oil every day.
In 世界海洋石油的发展史上，整个石油工业产量的增长点在海上， 而海上的增长点在深海。
Shanghai 1 is the world's first 100,000-ton semi-submersible deep-water production and storage platform. However, Shanghai 1 has to deal with constant challenges, such as an ocean floor 1,500 meters deep, a complex seabed, and typhoons moving at over 300 kilometers per hour. How can Shanghai 1 operate in the sea for decades in such a harsh environment? The above water part of Shanghai 1 consists of the upper module and the lower hull. The upper module is installed with nearly 200 sets of oil and gas processing equipment, making it an advanced chemical plant. The lower hull is composed of 4 20-story high floating columns that keep the platform afloat. Soon after daybreak, installation of the umbilical cable begins. On the deck, buoys are attached to the cable, positioned 800 meters beneath the sea surface. A buoy is required every 3.5 meters, so this 5,000 meter long umbilical cable can unfold as an S-shaped catenary underwater, instead of being squeezed and tangled by its own 516-ton weight. Under the sea surface lies Shanghai 1's vast and complex subsea tree, which comprises the well, the pipeline, the manifold system, and the umbilical cable. The oil comes out of the well and is transported through a pipeline. The manifold system gathers oil and gas from various wells before delivering it to Shanghai 1. The umbilical cable serves as both the power line and the central nervous system for the subsea tree. In addition to supplying power for underwater production, it also transmits instructions from the platform.
整个海上平台跟水下采油术最重要的部分就是水下脐带缆。海上平台的电力、液压动力和化学药剂等生产动力源不断的通过脐带缆输送到1500米海深、30多公里远水下设备使用。
Natural gas and water combine to form flammable ice in high pressure and low temperature environments. Just like blood clots in human blood vessels, the high pressure and low temperature of the deep sea solidify natural gas, blocking oil pipelines. To prevent this, glycol is injected through the umbilical cable into subsea wells. Within the real cabin of the deep water engineering ship, the massive capstan rotates slowly. The tensioner, like an octopus tentacle, grasps the umbilical cable and slowly lowers it into the sea with great precision and force. Additionally, 16 sturdy anchor chains are tensioned by 16 powerful windlasses. This mooring system serves to stabilize the floating Shanghai 1. Traditionally, a mooring system uses steel anchor chains, but these are not suitable for Shanghai 1. A single steel chain weighs 20,000 tons, so 16 such chains would weigh 320,000 tons. Due to the oscillation of ocean currents, the excessive weight of the anchor chains would generate enormous inertial force, unbalancing and even capsizing the platform. Shanghai 1 uses a new type of anchor chain. The head section, 200 meters long and connected to the platform, is made of steel. The tail section, 300 meters long and fixed onto the seabed, is also made of durable steel. The middle section, 2,000 meters long, is made of a newly developed polymer polyester material, which is as strong as steel, but less than 1/43 of the weight. These special anchor chains keep the floating Shanghai 1 relatively stable and make precise docking of the umbilical cable with the platform possible. The winch starts to pull the umbilical cable with extreme delicacy. The winch requires only 28 tons of its 45-ton maximum pulling capacity to pull the cable. However, as the pull reaches 30 tons, the cable stops moving. And it remains that way even when the pull is increased to 34 tons. Tensions rise in the main control room. Yoshue Gang, Shanghai 1's project general manager, knows all too well that successfully installing the umbilical cable is critical to the project progress, as well as the long-term and secure operation of the platform in the future. A sense of foreboding permeates the main control room. The engineers decide to send a diver down to check if the cable is stuck. Soon the diver reports back. As suspected, the cable's drawing head is caught beneath the platform. The only option now is to have the diver tie a temporary cable to the head and use a crane to loosen it. The engineers are worried and uncertain whether the plan will work. Any mistake would result in substantial operational and financial losses.
主脐带缆就相当于我们的中枢神经，一次性必须做对、做好。无论是密缝出现问题和打压施不住的时候，如果不能修复的话，我把它解下来，然后我再把它回接上，我大概就要花5、6个亿。
Meanwhile, down in the lower hull of Shanghai 1, inspection of the oil storage tank security alarm system is taking place. The 68-metre-deep tubular well resembles an upside-down building with its zigzag staircase leading straight to the centre of the Earth. Shanghai 1's gigantic oil tanks, with a total volume of 20,000 cubic metres, are inside these 4 square columns. They are capable of storing approximately 120,000 barrels of oil. Given the immense volume of oil on board, Shanghai 1 is like a gigantic floating bomb. In the event of a leak or fire in one of the tanks, it would pose a massive environmental threat to the entire region.
安全是一个很系统的一个复杂的工程，通过这个结构强度、疲劳计算，整个平台的这个设计寿命是30年，但是很多这个关键点的这个疲劳寿命要求达到150年，特别关键的地方要达到300年的疲劳寿命。100年一遇的台风，浪高最大是23米。100年台风袭击我们的时候，我们这个设施还有1.67倍的安全系数。1000年一遇的时候，我们这个地方的浪高会达到29米。29米袭击我们的时候，我们还有1.0倍的安全系数。
A careful and thorough inspection should be conducted every time. They must ensure that the oil pressure monitoring, pressure relief, and fire extinguishing systems are all in perfect condition. The tank has a double shell design, which means there is an isolation zone outside the tank, equipped with an oil leak detector, pump and ventilation system. If an oil leak is detected, the pump and ventilation system will automatically activate as a preventative measure. As night envelops the sea, the good news finally arrives. Pulling from the crane has worked. The jammed head is freed and the winch begins to rotate slowly and methodically. As the head is pulled up little by little, the umbilical cable is successfully docked to Shanghai 1. Next, it's time for the ROV underwater robot to show what it can do. Two ROVs are released into the deep sea, 1,500 meters below. The engineers control the robots with joysticks, as if playing a video game. As the robots carry out their underwater tasks with precision, the other end of the umbilical cable docks smoothly with the seabed wellhead. In the northern darkness, there is a fish named kun. Angrily it flies, its wings like clouds blotting out the sky. Over 2,000 years ago, the ancient Chinese philosopher Zhuangzhou depicted this magnificent image in verse. Today, a Chinese megaplane has brought the imagination of ancient Chinese to life. A metallic giant, the aircraft is 38.9 meters long, 38.8 meters wide, and 11.7 meters tall. The upper half resembles a large land-based aircraft and its lower half a ship. It represents a new symbol of China's large aircraft manufacturing capabilities after the Yun-20 and C919. It is called the AG-600 Kunlong, a large amphibious firefighting and water rescue aircraft independently developed in China. At 10 a.m. at Hubei Province's Zhonghe Airport, an AG-600 Kunlong is preparing for a water dropping test. It unloads water from the sky to different monitoring points on the ground, and then measures the water dropping range and water volume per unit area, helping to collect important data for the fire extinguishing system and aircraft usage patterns. One noticeable difference in appearance between the AG-600 and conventional land-based aircraft is the four propellers along its wings. Unlike typical land-based passenger planes that primarily use jet engines, the AG-600 is powered by turboprops. Commercial airlines usually require a takeoff distance of at least 1,500 meters. However, it is challenging for the AG-600 to find such a long takeoff distance near its target fire zone and water sources. How can it get airborne in a much shorter distance? When the AG-600's four propellers rotate at high speed, it creates a slipstream, which then speeds up the flow of air over its wings and can achieve extra lift.
滑流的时候，它可能产生的就是100个单位的升力。有螺旋桨滑流流过，把它的滑流叠加到这个飞行速度上的话，它产生的升力的单位可能就变成120个，这就是滑流增升。
Thanks to the powerful lift generated by its four turboprop engines, the AG-600 can take off from a runway of only 800 meters in length. Scooping water from nearby reservoirs, rivers or lakes allows for a much faster firefighting speed. The AG-600 can glide over water at high speed to draw water. Floats under its wings ensure stability as it does so. Two water buckets are installed on its belly. Once the aircraft is low enough, they open simultaneously, enabling it to gather 12 tons of water to fill up its 4 large water tanks in less than 20 seconds. With its belly filled with water, the AG600 needs to overcome the adhesive force of the water before it's ready to take off again.
水的密度是空气的密度的800倍，水的阻力它比空气的阻力大约要大800倍。在水上，飞机在加速过程当中是要克服的阻力比路上要大得多。
The design of the lower section of the AG600 gives it the appearance of a high-speed boat. However, it requires a sleek and streamlined underside to reduce air resistance during flight. The streamlined shape can cause the aircraft to tightly adhere to the water's surface, even preventing it from taking off due to the water's adhesive force. The belly of the AG600 Kunlun is characterized by its step design, resulting in a 0.2 meter height difference between its forebody and afterbody. This design not only interrupts the high-speed flow of water coming from the forebody, but also creates an air layer between the belly and the water, allowing the AG600 to break free from the water's adhesive force. Thanks to the AG600's step design and slipstream increase, it can comfortably take off from water, even when carrying a full load of 12 tons. It only requires a water area that is not very large or deep to take off quickly and rush to the fire scene, making it a highly efficient airborne fire truck. At 10:30 a.m. at Zhenghe Airport in Hubei Province, the majestic AG600 aircraft is ready to take to the sky for a water dropping test. Depending on the severity of the fire it is fighting, the AG600 can release its entire 12-ton load in one go or make multiple drops. Flying at a height of 50 meters, the plane's water tank doors open abruptly and 12 tons of water shower down onto a designated measuring area below. 5 successive runs see it flying back and forth to accurately drop different volumes from different heights and at different speeds. In addition to forest firefighting, the AG600 also plays a crucial role in maritime rescue operations. The AG600 boasts a cruising speed of up to 480 kilometers per hour, 10 times that of a regular ship. This allows it to quickly reach the scene of a disaster and land directly on water, even in the face of 2-meter-high waves. Racing against time, it can accommodate up to 50 survivors, making it a veritable life-saving ark.
我们不仅仅只是在做一款飞机，实际上我们是在做一件大的功德。这款救苦救难的飞机研制出来了，它会救多少人？
These test pilots serve as pathfinders, responsible for verifying whether the AG600 meets its design requirements. They promptly report any issues they encounter to its developers, so that the latter can improve and optimize the plane's design.
飞机在水面运行过程中不出现危险状况的这个边界飞出来，等于说是在风险的边缘试验这个飞机。
In the glow of the setting sun, the AG600 is receiving maintenance to ensure the safety of its next flight. As a piece of engineering, it embodies the hard work and wisdom of over 150 research institutes, 10 universities, and tens of thousands of scientists and researchers from 20 provinces and municipalities across China. Numerous trials have made this metal giant the largest amphibious aircraft in the world. Among the mountains and canyons, the Baihatan hydropower station keeps pace with time, shining brightly along the river. This mega water conservancy project, built with the most complex and cutting-edge technologies, operates quietly, contributing its best efforts to human advancement. Shenhai 1 is a giant steel platform in the South China Sea, a masterpiece of the offshore oil and gas sector. It highlights China's mega machine building capabilities and illuminates thousands of miles of the country's coastline.